It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to look like this picture perfect thing, or the way people define it, that, oh, you have to like be loud and your voice should not shake, your hands should not shake, or you should be all like looking in people's eyes. It doesn't have to look that way. The moment you said something in that room that you would not necessarily have said something, even if you wanted to say something, that's you building confidence. Hi guys. So in our last video, we had gone through why we feel as though sometimes we don't necessarily deserve to be in certain rooms, or certain rooms are too big for us, why we don't fit into groups and certain spaces. And at the root of it, we discovered that self-confidence, the way we see ourselves, it affects how we show up in those rooms. So in today's video, we're going to be discussing some of those habits that we portray knowingly, sometimes unknowingly, just from the way we see ourselves. Like, it's the mindset, how we see our inner strengths, our weaknesses, our wins, failures, how that impacts the way we see ourselves. And one thing to remember is that the way you see yourself affects your self-esteem. So in the sense that from within, if you don't necessarily feel as though you're qualified for something, you don't feel as though you're good at something, you don't feel good about yourself, you don't talk to yourself in the best of ways, you put down yourself, you always have something negative to say about yourself, it just means that you are not seeing yourself in the best light. And think of it this way: if a friend of yours comes to you and they share that, oh, I wrote the ICANN exam. The ICANN exam is an exam for accountants. It's a chartered accountant exam. And they took it, but they didn't pass. What would you say to them? You'll probably say, oh, I'm sure you'll try the exam again and you'll probably do well. Or you would just encourage them to say, I'm sure God has better plans. Or you could say, the exam was difficult. I totally reason with you. Like, try again, just keep trying. And you will you would actually pass the exam. So we usually find it easier to give people compliments and give people good advice and encourage other people. But when it's ourselves, we find it much difficult. So which means we have to train ourselves. We have to continually train ourselves to see that it's okay to compliment yourself. It's more than okay to say, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you, Eugenia. I'm proud of you, Dennis, Yabo. I'm proud of you, Teresa. Whatever your name is, put it there and tell yourself, I'm proud of you. Because if you don't do that, over time, the way you see yourself, it will drop. You keep seeing yourself as horrible, as bad, as not as intelligent, or as whatever, right? So one thing that our minds play, there's this trick our mind plays on us, that if we're like with among other people and like we start measuring ourselves up, like do you get, like almost like putting ourselves on a scale, we're saying things like, oh, I don't know this as much as them. And sometimes it can be disguised in like humility, where you're saying, someone compliments you and you're like, I didn't really do that much. Really? Accept the compliment. Compliment helps boost your confidence, right? And to yourself, when you start giving yourself the grace to actually make mistakes, it's okay to fail. all you do is, that's another opportunity to try another method, right? To do that thing again, whatever it might be. One of the major things we do that harms our self-confidence is self-talk. Toxic self-talk. Yes, toxic self-talk. For a lot of us, we've not trained ourselves to speak well of ourselves, to uplift ourselves, to praise ourselves when we do well. So I challenge you today, watch the way you talk to yourself. Start taking note of those thoughts that you have inwardly in your mind about yourself. If you find it difficult to give yourself compliments, try journaling. Open a book, write 3 things you love about yourself. Write 3 things you did well today. Or one thing. It might just be one thing that you did today. Could it be that you felt timid for a second, but then you thought about it like, what's the worst that could happen? And you went ahead to try and do something. Whether you did it well or not, that's a big deal. And later in the video, I'm going to give you a very good definition of confidence, and it will change your mind on how you see confidence. One of the people I love her work and the work she does, like in terms of like growth, development, just mind renewing and all of that, and overall development. Her name is Mel Robbins. She gave a very good definition to that, to self-confidence. And I feel that will be a mind shift for you. So don't leave the video. Finish it. Sit, discipline yourself to finish it. Finish what you've started. And at the end of it, I'll also give you 3 practical steps and ways that things you can do to boost your self-confidence. Don't think it's dressing well. Don't think it's going on a run. Okay, so let's put all of that on the side. We've heard that over time that, if you dress well, you'll be confident. Or if you exercise, you'll be confident. Yes, those things are very good and they're very true. But you can dress well and still feel very shitty about yourself on the inside. Do you understand? So it means that you have to start the work from inside out. Do you get? So today we're going to be focusing on the inside work. Yes, I hear a lot of people talk about like, if you're overweight, it could affect your self-confidence. I think that's debatable. That's very debatable, because you can be the slimmest of persons, but you still feel as though there's something wrong with you. You find slim people still like saying, I wish I had a little more legs. I wish I had a little more bum, a little more front. So it means that it will never be enough if you're gauging from the physical. So you have to gauge from within. You have to build yourself up. You have to continually grow, because as you grow, your confidence level increases. Do you understand? In the sense that if every area of your life, you intentionally take time to grow spiritually, socially, intellectually, emotionally, mentally, physically, right? If you take time to analyze each of those places, where can I improve? Daily, you take one simple step to improve. That can improve your overall self-confidence, the way you see yourself, right? And the second one would be, so the first one we said was toxic self-talk. The second one is the all or nothing mindset. So that's thinking black or white, in the sense that you feel as though, if I fail, it means I'm dull. If I don't get the contract, it means I'm not going to be successful, or it means that I'm not the best. Do you understand? Or if I win, it means I'm good. If I pass, it means I'm intelligent. That's the all or nothing mindset. And that's one of the fastest way to kill your morale. That's one of the fastest way to start idolizing people that you think are better than you, are best, or because they passed an exam, or because they got that contract, or because they're successful, or because whatever. Put anything you want to put in the blank box, because they got married or whatever. You can already start seeing that, this person's better than me because of all these things. But why not think differently? Do you understand? Where you see your own personal journey as an opportunity for you to grow, for you to be better. Give yourself time to grow, right? If you say, oh, I don't like the way I speak, what can you do to improve that? Do you understand? As opposed to saying, oh, my accent is just bad. Or I feel as though, oh, they speak better because they have an accent that's like much polished. Why not say, like, analyze yourself? Because, like, for me, what I did was I checked myself, like, do I want an accent with poor English, or do I want like a polished accent? Meanwhile, what I'm speaking is all jargon, it's all rubbish. Or do I want to speak proper English so I'm clear, people can understand me, so I can understand myself, and I'm not feeling pressured every time I go into a room? Do you get? So that's the question you have to ask yourself. When you go into the office, would you rather twist your tongue until people can't hear you, you can't even recognize yourself? Would you rather do that? Or would you rather speak properly, correct English, proper grammar, and just let the accent be? Because if you're saying, okay, maybe I don't really understand sentence structure and all of that, or my oral English might just, my phonetics might not be right. Yes, you can work on that. Yes, there are lots of resources out there that could help you with that. Or if you're saying, oh, I want to write properly, I want to start writing properly, like my written English, I want to get better in that. That's doable. Do you understand? You can say, okay, today I'm going to read a book. As I read this book, I'll observe how is the sentence structure. You understand, okay, when to use plural, when not to, how to conjugate verbs, how to just basic stuff. Do you understand? Like, slowly, before you know it, you can move to more complex stuff. But if you just say that, oh, I have an accent, and you don't look at it as, still, this is an opportunity for me to learn and grow, right? You will never grow. You will never be better. And I'm telling you, your accent will not be any better. Your speaking, it won't be any better. Okay? So take it easy on yourself. Give yourself time. Give yourself time to develop into the person you want to be. Do you get? Have your goals. Have things that each day you're challenging yourself to do better. Okay? And then the third one would be you avoid challenges. You avoid failure. You feel as though challenges they're bad. I want to shift your mindset. See challenges as an opportunity to actually learn something, to actually do better, or to try a different method, right? So even failure, same thing. Once you start seeing it that way, you allow yourself now to learn the process better, as opposed to cutting corners or just going about things shabbily. You find that you have better outcomes. Most of us focus on the outcomes so bad, as opposed to focusing on the process. When you focus on the outcomes, you lose the joy of whatever it is you're trying to get at. And one other thing I would say is you can challenge yourself to do better every day. I think I mentioned that earlier, that each day in each area of your life, have one thing that you say, okay, this is a small step I want to take today towards being better, right? It could be you see your health, you're having, let's say, high blood pressure. Could it be that you would say, okay, I'll have less sodium today? What could that look like? Reducing the amount of salt you use in your food. If you usually eat chips every day, can you skip chips today? You see that? It's much more easy to actually achieve goals when you see them like in small bits. Over time, if you do that, let's say you're trying to cut down on sugar, and today you decide, instead of using 2 cubes of sugar in your tea, you decide to use 1. By the end of the month, guess what? Your sugar usage has dropped by 30 pieces of, like 30 cubes of sugar, when before you used to use 60. Then you go into the next month saying, okay, I will use half each day. You know what? Over time, you even lose the taste. You lose the craving for sugar. So now I'll tell you the definition that Mel Robbins gave for confidence. This is how she defined confidence. She said confidence is the willingness to try. You know why I love that? Is that you're not focusing on the outcome. You're not saying, okay, because this person spoke up in the meeting, it means they're confident. No. That thing within them that wanted to hesitate, like you wanted to hold back and say, maybe I shouldn't talk. Maybe I might be wrong. Maybe I might look stupid. Maybe what I'm saying might just sound very funny. People might laugh at me. But you went beyond all of that and you still spoke, not bothering yourself whether it's right or wrong or whatever. Do you understand? So I want you to start seeing it that way. Every time you're faced with a challenge, you're faced with like whatever, like you're seated in a room where you feel like, oh, other people are better than you. That's the time to practice confidence. So when an opportunity comes for you to speak up, don't hold back. Speak. Yes, it might be wrong, but guess what? You spoke. And over time, you will find that it's easier to speak in rooms that you might be shaking. Even if your voice will shake, go on that stage and speak. You are still better than someone that never tried. So she also buttressed on that point that when you take action that you know you might not get it right, or you might not get something out of it, right? But you still do it. So it means that we have to now intentionally push ourselves to go beyond that hesitation that comes in. Push beyond it. Once you push beyond it, you're confident. That's it. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to look like this picture perfect thing, or the way people define it, that, oh, you have to like be loud and your voice should not shake, your hands should not shake, or you should be all like looking in people's eyes. It doesn't have to look that way. The moment you said something in that room that you would not necessarily have said something, even if you wanted to say something, that's you building confidence. So here are 3 things that I would challenge you to do. These are some of the areas that we can draw our confidence from. One of it, our confidence, it comes from us building ourselves up. So that's the opposite of toxic self-talk. So where we build ourselves up through actions or words, you say nice things to yourself. You give yourself credit when due. You do something and you get it right. Tell yourself, oh, you're actually very disciplined. I noticed that, oh, you woke up at 5 for the last week. Guess what? Your mind, your brain gets happy, whether you know it or not. Even you're like from your inside out, you start feeling differently about yourself. And guess what? Next time, it will be easier for you to wake up at 5 to pray. It will be easy to wake up at 5 to do your exercise, whatever it might be. And as you trust yourself more, you do more. You take up more challenges, right? And the second one would be seeing failure and challenges as an opportunity for growth, right? So it's the fact that you failed. It doesn't mean you're dull. It doesn't mean you're like a failure or whatever. It is what it is. You didn't get it. You missed that. What do you do next? You try another method. Try another way. And it doesn't mean you won't get it. Even if you fail that same thing 10 times while trying different methods, right? You're still better than someone that failed and never tried it again, right? So keep trying different methods, because one day it's just like scientists. A good scientist, they try a particular method. It didn't work. Guess what they'll do? They'll go back, try another thing, change one of this thing. Let's say they used a different method, right? They go and try another method. Oh, they go and read more about that topic. See what have other people tried in the past. Do you get? That's how you make a good scientist. That's how you make a good lawyer, a good doctor, whatever it might be. Even down to public speaking, right? You try something today, you go up the stage and you felt jittery. You go back home. What do? You check people that have overcome stage fright. What did they do? Try something else. What did they do? Did they use like a stress ball? Did they do breathing exercises before they went in? Another one fun one I learned was he it's one of these popular public speakers online. He said if you go for a run or do something that makes your heart beat really quickly, really fast, before you go up the stage, it improves the way you talk. I was like, like you won't be as jittery on the stage. I was like, I need to try that one because it makes sense. Because one thing, if you go up the stage and you find that your heart is beating so fast, you do something externally that causes your heart to beat fast. By the time you settle down, your body cools down, you feel more confident. It's easier to speak. So yeah, that's a side note. But the moment you stop seeing failure as a sentence, like, oh, like this is the final point, like I can't do anything beyond this is who I am. The moment you move past that, that's where you become better. That's where you become the person you desire to see, because you can see the best of other people. Why not start seeing the best in yourself too, right? The third and the final one would be you have to focus on the process. Decenter the outcome, decenter it. The fastest way to kill your growth is to focus on outcomes alone. So either seeing it as a win or a fail, a win or a fail, a win or a fail every time. That's the fastest way not to grow. Start seeing your process as a period of growth, as a period of development. You're moving from one level to the other as you go, as you go, as you go. Each step is taking you to the best version of yourself. Whether you like it or not, you're becoming something. But that all determines on what you were focusing on during your growth period. Do you get? So start focusing on the steps. Enjoy the process. You're learning to speak better, right? Why not make it fun? Make it fun. Let people around you know that, okay, this is what I'm trying. So laugh at yourself. It's okay. If you feel something, laugh at yourself. Because the moment you start like being lighthearted about like the way you see failure or the way you see challenges, that's the same way. It's not going to hold any power over you anymore. Do you understand? Because now it's so like, who cares? Do you understand? Like, who cares? Stop looking at other people's outcomes, because you don't see people. Most people don't show you their process. You go on social media, people show you their outcomes. They never show you their process. They never show you that, oh, there was a certain time that they almost fell off the stage. Do you understand? But in your mind, you're feeling like, oh, what if I fall off the stage? Don't think that way. Because the moment you start thinking of all the what ifs, what if this happens? What if this happens? What if they laugh at me? That's what would make you shrink more and more and more. Okay? So finally, I would say choose growth. Enjoy the process. In it, you will find satisfaction. And at the end, you will be better. All right. So I'm challenging you today to stop obsessing over failure. Stop obsessing over your dissatisfaction about your weaknesses. Stop obsessing over people's outcomes, over your outcomes. Start focusing on your process of becoming. In it lies the best version of yourself. And you know what? Confidence comes from daily growth. It comes from taking those small steps daily, every day. It doesn't come from wearing the best outfit or looking your best. Those are an addition. Okay? Once you gain a hold of your like different areas of your life, you see yourself improving, you see yourself doing better, you start seeing yourself better. So go think about it. Confidence doesn't come from winning. It doesn't come from winning. Don't let anyone deceive you. You can win all you can, but it doesn't mean you're confident in yourself, because the day you fail, it means that you're going to crash. So stop obsessing over wins. Stop obsessing over failures. if you stop growing, your confidence, it drops. So I would like to see in the comment section, what are some things that have helped you over time? Like, if you're someone that's very confident already, what are some things you've tried? Because personally, I'm still a work in progress. I'm still working on my confidence. Even today, I was like, maybe I shouldn't do this video because I have not done my hair. So you can see like I have a beanie on my head. So I was like, maybe I shouldn't do this video. But then I thought, I was like, if I keep waiting for everything to be perfect, I keep obsessing about, oh, everything has to be perfect, it has to be set right, I have to have makeup on, or I have to do this and that, I would never get anything done. Guess what? I hesitated, but I did this video. So that is me being confident. I showed up for myself today. Good job, Eugenia. Good job to you too. You watching this, you did a good job watching it to the end. So I would see you all in my next video. And I hope you learned one or two things. I can't wait to see your comments. I can't wait to see all the love. And to the new subscribers, welcome, welcome, welcome. I love seeing, oh, this person followed you. And when you drop a comment, oh, I love it even much more. So let me see your comments and share this video with other people. Like, comment, subscribe. I noticed that a larger number of people watch but don't subscribe. So I really appreciate it if you can support me. Just subscribe. It helps me put out more stuff. It doesn't mean I'll stop putting out stuff, but it helps. It does help. It does encourage me to put out more stuff. All right. So I'll see you in my next video. Have a blessed week. Bye. One last tip I'll give you: find somewhere to serve. When you serve others, guess what? I actually tried it, it works. When you serve others, you decenter shame. Like you don't think of, oh, maybe I won't do this right, or maybe this, maybe that. Like, even if you think of all of that, guess what? You still have to help them because you signed up for it. So volunteer. Look for places to volunteer. Maybe at church. It could be that you're a worker. Why not try being in the choir? Why not consider being an usher? Right? While you serve God, you can use that opportunity, like that opportunity that's been created for you to serve other people, to improve yourself. Right? So I found that for me personally, I served in the children's section department. I was in the ushering department. Then I went to youth, and then I tried kids. Oh my God. Each of it brings different challenges. So, but the more you try, the more you put yourself out there, the more you show up for people, right? You are developing yourself through that. So think of different ways that you could serve. Think of different ways that you could be of help to others. As you put yourself out there, you'll be less focused on the fear from being okay, of not doing things right. Do you understand? Another one that really helped, okay, I'll just leave this one. Try this and let me know.